Hello and welcome back to the channel Held Dominance. Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe, and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you're seeing and if you want to see more. Coming up in this episode, we have scorers and results from the Betfred Championship and League One games played this weekend, and Catalans coach hails victory over Wakefield, one of the club's very best. We start today's episode by looking into the Championship as the race to Super League hots up, as there were more results, more fixtures, and a full day of action, all for the Sunday 3 o'clockers for traditional rugby league start times. Now, let's have a look at what went on. Before we go into the regular weekend fixtures, we have to do a little bit of housekeeping, as Batley Bulldogs won their game in hand that they had with Sheffield Eagles. After being 14 points to 10 in the lead at half time, they went on to win 32 points to 22 and moved them into the third place position. Batley had Manning to thank for 2 tries, Hooley, Campbell and Gilmore to thank for a try apiece, as well as Gilmore slotting over 5 conversions and a penalty in their 32 points. For Sheffield, they had Bauer, Luluai Tangagai, QLT this time, Farrell and Thackeray to thank for a try apiece, and Guzdek converted 3 of the tries. With that out of the way, now we'll look at round 22's results that were all played on Sunday, with one result to come, and I'm doing this video while that game is being played. First of all, we had the Bradford Bulls winning 48 points to 18 against lowly Workington. The Bulls had Butler, Wallace, Flanagan Sr. for 2 tries, Burton, Gill, Miller and Hallas all going for a try apiece, and Patton with 8 conversions to thank for their 48 points. This all despite Bradford losing at half time 8 points to 6. The 18 points of Workington came from Forber, Terrell and Clegg, while Forber kicked over 2 goals and a penalty. Next up, we had York having a tough of it against the Dewsbury Rams, but came out 22 points to 10 victors, despite it only being 6 points all at half time. Dewsbury had Davis and Carr to thank for tries with the 1 conversion from Sykes, while York had Harris, Ingano and 2 tries from Marsh to thank for their points. Harris and 2 conversions from Glover sealed the deal on the day. Then Lee showed up again with another 50 plus result as they put 52 on Barrow in this 52 points to 20 victory. For Lee Centurions, who led 18 points to 8 at half time, they had O'Donnell, Ipape going over twice, Mellor, Chamberlain, Ione, Inu, McDonald and Smith to thanks for all their tries, while Christian Inu kicked 8 conversions. Barrow had Maludi and Ritson and Samet, their stars, to thank for their points, while Shaw kicked 3 conversions and a penalty, but it wasn't enough against the top of the table Lee. What we have now is a surprise result, to be honest, with London downing Newcastle in Newcastle 44 points to 0. It was a closer scoreline at half time, with it being 12 points to 0 in London's favour. Hopefully Newcastle could have came back from it, but no, London stepped on the gas and took them out to an unassailable lead. There were tries for McCarney, a hat-trick for Mulberg, 2 for Lovell, Mokadrecki, Walker again with another try, and Williams to thank for their points to set the London Broncos on the way, while Mokadrecki kicked 3 conversions and Leyland kicked 1 for himself. Sheffield Eagles rebounded off their defeat against Batley by winning up against Whitehaven 38 points to 26. It was 14 points to 12 at half-time to the Sheffield Eagles in this close game, but the Eagles had enough about them to put Haven to bed. Thackeray scored another 2 tries, while Johnson, Wellham, Holmes, Crimes, Wood and Ashton all got a try apiece, while Guzdeck hit 3 conversions. Dixon scored a hat-trick for Whitehaven, while Bullman and McAvoy got over the try line for 1 apiece, and Williams kicked over 3 goals. And as you've seen there, Widnes were defeated 16 points to 20 against Featherstone, despite leading 12 points to 6 at half-time. Ince and 2 tries from Spedding, as well as a conversion and penalty from Edge, all got the points for Widnes. While Featherstone had Junior Moores, Jones, Ford and Hardcastle to thank for their tries, while Hall kicked 2 conversions in this tight, tough game. And finally, in the live Premier Sports game, Halifax Panthers beat Batley Bulldogs 34 points to 18. It was a tougher second half for Halifax as they led 22 points to 8 at half-time, but it was the Panthers that came through for the win and for the places in the playoff picture. Saltonstall scored 4 tries for Halifax, while Arundel and Colcott got 1 apiece. Kyokeys kicked 5 goals to set Halifax on their way. Batley had Campbell to thank for 2 of their tries and Hooley for the other, while Gilmore kicked 2 conversions and 2 penalties to close out the game. To finish off our championship roundup, we have a look at the league table. Lee Centurions lead the way with only 1 loss all season, sees them on 42 points, leading Featherstone Rovers by 5 points, who in turn lead Halifax Panthers and Batley Bulldogs by 5 points. Halifax leapfrog Batley with their victory late on, but it's York City Knights who are now only 2 points behind on 30 points. Barrow Raiders are still within a shout at the playoffs with their 29 points so far, but it looks like Sheffield Eagles, Widnes Vikings and Bradford Bulls might just miss out, despite them all being on 20 points and battling in alpha places there. The common theme of 5 points comes into play once again as the Newcastle Thunder are on 15 points, but London Broncos close up on them after defeating the Thunder 44-0. They're on 13 points now and 2 points ahead of Whitehaven. Dewsbury Rams are in the 13th position, while Workington Town has still only got to that 1 win all season. Catalans rolled into Wakefield on Sunday, not knowing whether or not they were going to get a result, but were going to give it a bloody good go no matter what they did. And they did come out with the victory, while Catalans Dragons coach Steve McNamara rated his side's 20 points to 16 win over Wakefield as one of the best in the club's 17-year history, as they overcome the absence of 13 regulars to strengthen their top 4 spot in Super League. France winger Fuhad Yaha scored a first half hat-trick of tries on his 150th appearance of his career to put the Dragons on their way to victory. McNamara revealed afterwards that he was close to missing the game to a personal tragedy. Fuad's grandma, who raised him when he was younger, passed away this week. McNamara said he didn't train with us all week, but he managed to get across for the game, so to start the game as he did is a credit to him. The same for Cesar Rouge. His granddad passed away and he was in all sorts of trouble during the week. McNamara may have been able to bring back the likes of Tom Davis and Tyrone May from injury. However, the late withdrawal from this man, Sam Tompkins, with a knee strain, meant that he was down to the bare bones when it came to playing staff. He was forced to draft in Matthew Colzar for his first start in Super League in the front row, in the absence of 3 specialist props. He had a winger and a halfback on his bench too. Fortunately for McNamara, he had Arthur Morgs to step into Tompkins' shoes at fullback, and he did so with aplomb. Morg created the first 2 tries for Fuad Yahar and kicked 4 out of 5 attempts. Speaking on Morgs, he was a threat all day, and defensively he was good. He kicked his goals and played that position really well today, in the absence of Sam. I think it's one of the best wins of Catalans history. We had 13 starting players missing and only finished with 17 yesterday after our travel. We had nobody else to pick. Dimware was 50-50 and we decided not to play him. The way we lost last week really hurt, and after a really turbulent week this week for a team to come together like that against the Wakefield team who was in form was incredible. I thought we deserved to win, but it was close in the end. The Catalans, who established a 6-point buffer on 5th place Castleford, will now set up camp in North Leeds to prepare for their next game against the Tigers on Friday night. We now take a look at League One and the runners and riders that are vying for promotion to the Championship, as there is a lot to go through and a lot of rugby league to enjoy over the next coming weeks. So without further ado, let's get into that. So we kick off round 17 in London as the Scholars beat West Wales Raiders 68 points to 18 and were comfortably ahead by half time, leading 40 points to 4. Bassett was the man of the match with 4 tries for the Scholars, while Gale, Lyon, Thorman, Varnos, Thomas, Small, Yates and O'Callaghan were the try scorers for the Scholars to complete the scoring. Lyon also kicked 10 goals as well as adding to his try. The Raiders had Dyer Dixon to thank for 2 tries, Allen for and Holden for the other 2, and Simpson for 1 conversion, in what was a dramatic and exclamation mark putting win for London Scholars. Sunday's games see Cornwall first of all take on the North Wales Crusaders, which was going to be always a tough proposition with the informed Crusaders coming to town. And so it showed, as North Wales won 36 points to 12 in the end, despite only being ahead in the first half by 24 points to 6. Hartshorn and Conroy were the try scorers for Cornwall, while Rusling got up 2 conversions. The Crusaders had 2 tries from Rodden and 2 tries from Barrett, while Johnson and Brennan got a try apiece. Johnson added to his try with 6 conversions for the victory, going to North Wales. Then there is the first of the 2 games of the weekend, as Doncaster came from behind to beat Rochdale 26 points to 20 at the Dons home stadium. After trailing 6 points to 14 at half time, Doncaster had to thank Tally for 2 tries, Corrigan for 2 tries and Boas for a try, while Robinson kicked 3 goals to complete the victory. Rochdale had Nixon, Ward and Chase to thank for their tries, while Rush kicked 3 goals and a penalty. And my second game of the weekend, I give it Doncaster first of all, as they came from behind and lower in the table, to be honest, facing a team around about them, while Keighley came from behind against Swinton to win 26 points to 20. as Swinton were leading 20 points to 8 and were at home. Case, Kirkbright, Roby and Else were the try scorers for Swinton before half-time, and Abrams kicked 2 goals. Abrams then added a penalty in the second half, but it wasn't enough as Keithley ran riot. Graham, Everett, Junior Sow and Trott all scored, Trout even, scored a try apiece, while Miller kicked 4 goals and a penalty to seal the game in Keithley's favour. And in another game looking for the game of the weekend is the late finishing Midlands Hurricanes 36, Oldham Ruffians RFC 41. Never mind a game of 2 halves, this was a game of 4 quarters. A massive burst in the last 20 minutes saw the Midland Hurricanes come back from a massive deficit of 39 points to nil to get that 41-36 scoreline. Almost a comeback, but not quite there. Hurricanes had Heppel and Wallace score 2 tries apiece, while Colburn and Newbound scored a try apiece, while Stead kicked over 6 conversions from 6 attempts. Unfortunately, on the Oldham's try scoring side, we only know that Ridyard scored 1 try, as the social media from Oldham and also the coverage from BBC Sports wasn't up to standard. But Ridyard also kicked 5 conversions during the game, so he took his personal tally to 14 for the day. After all the results are in, we now have the league table, and Keighley Cougars are still perfect with 16 wins from their 16 games. But they're followed by North Wales Crusaders, even though they've got a game in hand, in lieu of Keighley Cougars. They are 4 points behind and more than likely going to finish second. Swinton Lions and Doncaster come next on 24 points apiece, while Rochdale Hornets' defeat sees them drop down to 5th. Hunslet, who had the week off this week, are on 17 points and now look like that they're going to miss out on the playoffs, while Oldham, London Scholars are on 11 and 10 points respectively, despite London playing 1 game more. Midland Hurricanes come so close to their 5th win of the season, but still are in 9th place. Then the bottom 2 fighting out for the wooden spoon is Cornwall and West Wales Raiders, who have both only got 1 win all season. And it looks like if results go wrong for West Wales in the next few games, they would have conceded over 1,000 points this season. And that's it for another episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe and share this video worldwide, as well as clicking that notification bell for any updates on new videos that may be coming your way. Tell me what your thoughts are on today's episode. The comment section is open. You're free to use it as long as you're being nice to everyone. Constructive criticism is always welcome as well. Tell me what your your thoughts are on who was the game of the weekend. Midland Hurricanes versus Oldham, that was a close run thing, really was. Unfortunately, I think it is Doncaster versus Rochdale. They were away from home. Oh no, they were at home. Keighley were at home. Anyway, some good results. You tell me yours particularly in the comment section. And Steve McNamara's best game ever for Catalans Dragons against Wakefield. From a story standpoint, depletion of numbers, players, bereavements and things like that, possibly. But I'd say getting to the grand final, winning the Challenge Cup, the first French team to do so, that's a bigger accolade. But hey, everyone's subjective. Tell me in the comments below what your thoughts are. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to share this video worldwide. I will now wish you all the best. So please stay safe, and I'll see you in the next episode.